hear that ringing in your head? That's what most folks hear right before I say hello. I was Bethany Dale. You may call me Death Bell.
The dude in the third panel looks so much like Buster Crabbe.
Coming to you from parts unknown, it's Vance Capley talking comics, graphic design, and art. Sit back and enjoy tonight's episode.
Hello, Vance Capley, VanceCapleyArt.com. I was doing work for Ron Foss. At the time, he was working for Scary Monster magazine along with Dennis Terchanis, and they were working on Destiny Vampire Mermaid. Ron hired me to help him do some of the strips. I was very excited by this, but I was really happy that I got to work with him. I got to correspond with him via letters, and at one point he sent me these oversized cardboard or poster stock, whatever, reprints of some Frazetta artwork, and they were from comics. This was from Personal Love, comic from 54, I want to say number 32, and the comic I'm referring to is Untamed Love by Frank Frazetta, signed by Frank Frazetta, which was a very rare thing in 1954, but the artwork needs to be signed. It's beautiful. After I saw this in black and white, no color, it was like, I wouldn't say life-changing, but it did influence my artwork greatly from that point forward. And I poured over this and over this again and again and again. On the screen, as you'll see, this is page 1 of Untamed Love. I love how Frazetta's anatomy was on point. You know, comic books in 1954, anatomy wasn't a big deal, but for Frazetta, it was a big deal. So you have this realistic looking lion coming out of the brush, this beautiful woman, this muscular dude. It just looks so real, looks so good. I also love this part right here at the bottom of the page with this, you have this beautiful panel that's drawn out like a scroll, and then beside it you have the little boat, and then beside it it's the ship, and you have that zipatone reflection in the water. It's just really, really good stuff. And on the second page here, and this is beautiful. This panel where he's holding her, just it's just shadows. It's just beautiful shadows. And then you go to the next panel, it's shadows with zipatone emulating a sunset. It's amazing, or a sunrise, whatever, you know. And this overhead shot right here in this third panel, on the third page, you have that lovely night scene all done with shades of zipatone. It's really awesome. It gives it depth. It gives it more than it really needs for a small panel, but it really pulls you in. And this wonderful shot, panel 2 on page 3, where they're around, where the campfire's in the distance behind them, and you have this lovely silhouette. It's just really good. The dude in the third panel looks so much like Buster Crabbe, and the model, the lady, she looks a lot like Marilyn Monroe in my opinion, but you know, what do I know? But if you get over here to the fourth panel and look at the young fella's face, who's, you know, like, huh, who's that? Look at that. He looks terrified, and he looks like Buster Crabbe, just saying. And then when you get down here to the bottom page, this cat right here with a hat, he's looking like George Reeves, Superman. Frazetta here is taking the stuff that you see like Will Eisner doing, shadows exaggerated poses, and he's taking them to a realistic level. This is what the standard, like for your 70s comic books, like your Neil Adams or your Jose Garcia Lopez. Those guys are doing that stuff years later, like 20 something years later. And over here on this panel, silhouettes again, except for her. And I think that's really cool. And it's a matter of lighting, of course, but it's also a great way to bring it all back around to her, because that's where the story goes, is back to her. On page 4, we have the figures in silhouette once again. Panel 2. This would have been the ideal Superman to draw in comics in the 50s, in my opinion, because it matched sort of the George Reeves look. And then again, you have this wonderful jungle in the third panel on page 4. And you can see the Zipatone background, all this little detail on the trees and these gnarly vines and little leaves and things. And it's just beautiful. It's a great way to fill a panel and just have people talk off camera. And when you get over to the fourth panel, you have the huge figure in shadow, letting everyone know that the lines are up the road, And then down here you have this, and if you'll notice, he just kind of, just lightly did this because they're in a distance. But if you look, the detail he put into the shadows and the flowers and the foliage and the plants, all that stuff, the birds in the background, he didn't have to do it, but he chose to, and it really makes it work. Then you get to the next panel, you're still in that kind of jungle-y setting. It's just wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. Now we've moved on to page 5, and you have them going through the plants or the whatnot, like a jungle setting. And then you can get to this panel 2 on page 5, and everyone's in the shadows and everything, and the lines are up ahead. And Frazetta used this great kind of black, if you will, kind of like from top right going down to the ground at the feet of the men, then over to the woman. So it makes a big circle. And I'm a big fan of using circles in artwork. I think it, makes it's a continual go around. And if you watch, the shadow for her hair links up to her face, which links up to the lions looking back at her. So it's like a big circle of the target in the middle, which is ironic, And then you have the Don character in panel 3 firing when Tracy says, "Don't, we're not close enough." And these beautifully rendered lions, it's just amazing. And it just blows me away that in 1954, this was a comic book that you could buy. If you look at other stuff from 54, you don't see stuff like this. It just completely blows me away. And now we're going to move on over to page 6. And this panel, this long widescreen panel, if you will, has the lion leaping through the foliage toward the woman. The confused Don character and Tracy's grabbing the rifle. And at the very last second, on panel 2, he takes the shot and takes out the lion. The third panel, he looks, again, the Tracy character looks what Superman could have looked like in the 50s. They used Kurt Swan. Fine artist, no problem there. But look at this. Could you imagine Frazetta drawing Superman in the 50s? Good gosh, that would have been fantastic. And then we get down to the final 3 panels of page 6. And you have Tracy, giving Don what for. And Don, the illustration of Don being just like, he's not having any of it. He's mad. He's like a little boy in the corner who just got yelled at. And then he tries to smooth it over with this Chicky Pie in the last panel, Mona, and she's like, I don't think so. And then we get over to page 7. And I love how the Don character is in the Zipatone shading. The grass goes all the way out leading all the way out, and you follow all the characters. It's really cool. I really like the panel of Tracy coming into the tent. It's beautiful. I love the lighting for that and everything. I love the cross hatching. It's like a lighting in the background. That cross hatching is beautiful, and I like the wild inking on her dress and the shadows as well. And you see that in the next panel, and it just really looks good. And we get down here to the bottom of page 7, and she has that wonderful Frazetta surprised woman, surprised female expression, and I love that. I've seen him do it before. It's just gorgeous. The hugging, their kissing is wonderful. The circle. And now we're going to move on to page 8. All right, I love this panel 2, and on page 8, and you have Don coming in with a rifle, and he's like, a very pretty and touching picture indeed. And she's like, Don? What do you think, he's going to vanish? It's just so good. Nothing in the background this time. The main focus is Don with the gun. And he's a giant because he has the power in this panel. And now he's smaller, trying to explain everything. You think you're the big guy. You got my girl, eh? But he's shrinking. And in all these panels, he's shrinking down. And when you get to that 4th panel, where he's about to take a shot at Tracy, and she runs in front of the gun, he's almost tiny. He's almost child size. And then down at the bottom, the gun goes off. He has a surprised look on his face. That pose, the dynamicism of the figures in this second to last panel is just mind-blowing. This is 1954. Again, I say it again, 54. The only other artist that I could think of that would come close during this time period would be like your Alex Raymond, who was doing Flash Gordon. Now, we get to the last panel. It's surrounded again by beautiful things, lights coming in, the beautiful cross-hatching, and it's just wonderful, beautiful ending, beautiful artwork. This is like one of the most influential comics I've ever seen in my life, and I'm talking about on an artistic level. It's not the story is okay, but the way he takes this mundane little romance tale and turns it into this, it's almost epic. The way he does this is just mind-blowing. I just wanted to show you guys that. I was going through my stuff, and I found the reprint that Ron Voss had given me years ago, and I dig it out every now and then anyway to look at it and restudy. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of each other. God bless, and have a wonderful day. Hello, I'm Vance Capley. I do illustration, comics, and graphic design. I've been doing it for a long time now, and I really enjoy what I do. I love the challenge of trying to come up with something to match what my client needs. I also enjoy the challenge of just seeing what I can do next to up my game to become a better creative person, either in my comics, art, or graphic design. On the screen you're seeing samples of what I can do. Contact me at vancecapleyart.com or on social media.
Now available from vancecapleyart.com is high-quality illustrations on 11x14 cardstock mailed to your door for $10 each. But wait, there's more. For a limited time, you can order all 5 classic TV prints for $45 mailed to your door. It is the craziest deal ever seen on the internet. Maybe. Maybe not. Sounds crazy though, doesn't it? But it's true. Visit VanceCapleyArt.com's shopping section to get your orders in today.
All 11 by 14 prints are $10 each plus shipping and handling. The 5 prints offer is $45 plus shipping and handling. Continental U.S. orders only. Artwork is copyright Vance Capley, cannot be reproduced without permission of the artist.
Make sure you get your orders in today at VanceCapleyArt.com. You'll be glad you did.